through the struggle and learn from the pain. No, it ain't fair, but I know it's the game. Hurting through loss and there's no one to blame. I ain't no better for them, it's the same. Little bit wiser each day that I grow. Internal battles, I can't let them show.
Alright, y'all, so we have a big debate going on, man, because it seems like in my last video, me and another YouTuber got different information about Sun Wukong or whatever. And yeah, I don't know where he gets his information from. My information is the same information I've been doing this whole time. I've been getting my information from like these same sources the whole time, and they're like Mobile Legends developers on the low or something like that. And yeah, they have never been wrong to this point before. They've never been wrong. But I mean, hey, I don't know. I know that people want to be hopeful and go with the news that they feel more happy about. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where someone else gets their information from. But what I can say is it looks like the information that we've seen from those guys that I usually get it from, like Mobile Legends leaks and all that stuff, like the information that we've seen from those guys, it looks like it could just not be fully detailed, because the descriptions seem very, very simplified. It doesn't go too deep into the details. So it seems like the ones that I read could just be a skeleton. And people are saying if they actually do have the stuns and knockbacks and stuff like that, will this make him a good hero? Will this make Sun a good hero? So the thing about this is I don't like situations where people choose sides, like choose, oh, I want to go with this YouTuber, I want to go with that YouTuber. I don't get on YouTube for people to follow me. I don't get on YouTube for people to praise me, just agree with me for no reason and stuff like that. I get on here to have conversations with y'all. Like, honestly, if you agree with me, yeah, that's fine. That's fine if we have the same opinion. But what we're going to be talking about is how I formulate my opinions based around these heroes. Because a lot of people just talk out of emotion, like, oh, I love this hero. If I just went off of how much I love a hero, Layla would be the #1 hero in Mobile Legends. But being realistic, Layla is one of the worst heroes in Mobile Legends because of how the meta is set up right now. It's just the reality of the situation. And a lot of people don't even know that. A lot of people don't know that my favorite hero is Layla, when if you go back to my first, 100 videos, it's 100% Layla gameplay. But nobody goes and sees the history. But I mean, let's just get into it. Let's get into what how I basically decide if a hero is good or not. So when it comes down to trying to figure out if a hero is good, I look at the value that they are going to bring to the team. I first think to myself, what do I want their role to be on this team? And is there somebody who could do their job better than them? Now, let's think about that. So when it comes down to the new hero Sun, let's stick with him since he's the recent one we were talking about. What role do you want him to be? Do you want him to be a crowd control sustainability hero? Do you want him to be a defensive hero? Do you want him to be an offensive hero? What do you want him to be? Because if you want him to be an offensive hero, that's trash. Why? Because I'd rather have Alucard dealing my damage. I'd rather have Xylong dealing my damage. There are better, if you want him to just be an attacking hero, there are much better attacking heroes in Mobile Legends. Even if they added all these changes in the world, there's still much better attacking heroes than him. I would still prefer Alucard, because Alucard will completely melt down a whole team with no, if crowd control isn't a factor, if we're not taking that into consideration and we're going strictly off of attack power, I'd want Alucard or Xylong or a bunch of different heroes. But yeah, so when we do that, that's basically how I think. Honestly, that's how I think. I think, okay, so I can't put him in the attack category because I wouldn't want him on my team, even if it was like an attack, even if it was attack focused. So let's go over to defensive next. Do I want him to defend? And that's when you gotta think of the fact that a fighter like Hilda is a defender. So I would rather have Hilda in that role over him, because she can go and she has a lot more sustainability. And then we can go with even Argus. Like, people were asking me about Argus. Is Argus still a good hero? Argus has a lot of sustainability. Argus is easy to stop if you have the time to stop him. If you have the freedom to stop him. If your team is working together, you don't have time for your whole team, the whole other team, to be focusing on Argus. They got to focus on a bunch of other heroes. So yeah, it's not as simple as just staying away from Argus for 5 seconds, because if you're in a team fight, you don't decide if you're going to stay away from somebody for 5 seconds. You're going to either fight for your life or you're going to die to the other team. So even someone like Argus, I would honestly prefer in a defensive position over Sun. Now, crowd control. If we want to go to crowd control sustainability type, this new Sun, it sounds like he's going to have more crowd control, so it sounds like that could be interesting. I would want to see what he's actually capable of when it comes to crowd control. How many people he have crowd control over, like how many people does his crowd control affect and stuff like that, because that's going to be a big deal. But if it's only one person, I wouldn't. I'm sorry, I wouldn't want Sun on my team still over Ruby. Like over Ruby? Like come on now. Who wants Sun on their team over Ruby if he's only has crowd control over one person and she has crowd control over the entire team? Literally anybody in range of her, she has them. Like she has them, and then she can stun them, and then she's going to continue to get full health back. So when it comes down to that area, I'd rather have Ruby. But also, depending on how good this new buff is, I don't know if there's a hero that I would put second above the reworked Sun. So this is where the conversation gets interesting, because if we're talking about strictly crowd control, Ruby is one of the only heroes that I can really think of that's just insanely great in the crowd control area, and also has a lot of sustainability. Because Alpha, they're not weak. Alpha, Freya, they're not weak. They have crowd control, but it's nothing special. It's nothing super special, which is why you see Ruby in the meta more than you see those two. Like nothing wrong with those two heroes, but when it comes down to that crowd control sustainability, Ruby is just the best at it. But I feel like Sun could do well there because he has so many clones and stuff like that, and if he can stun people, I feel like that could be really effective. And also from what I heard about my version of the ultimate and stuff, what I saw, he could potentially have like a bunch of freaking clones attacking. He could have like a bunch of freaking clones attacking. So yeah, it could be like a gang, like a Naruto shadow clone jutsu type of thing. And if that's the case, he's going to be even harder to kill, and especially those, he's going to be hell for an ADC to try to attack, because ADC is going to have to go through so many different clones, and by the time ADC finishes attacking all the clones there, basically you could do a lot of damage. And especially if you're stunning people at the same time. So, and also the cooldowns. I didn't pay too much attention to the cooldowns, but I would have to see how fast his abilities cool down as well. Because yeah, he could be a close second to Ruby. Definitely could be a second to Ruby. So this is basically how I break down and judge if a hero is really worth being in the meta and stuff like that. It's not something that's just biased. It's not something I just come up with randomly. And a lot of people go back to the excuse, oh, you just don't know how to play the hero. Which, once again, they never check my history and realize that, like, when I say Zylong is trash, they say, oh, you can't play Zylong. Then the first time I played Zylong, I dropped 20 kills, and they, oh, you can play Zylong? Like, yeah, I can play Zylong. I can play anybody. I don't talk out of a place of, oh, I just can't play a hero or something like that. I really just judge and break down the hero, and I compare them to every other hero. You have to be realistic when making decisions. So, this is basically how I break down the heroes right now. So basically, as an offensive hero, I think Sun will be trash. As a defensive hero, I think Sun will be trash. When it comes down to crowd control, I think he could be close to Ruby now. If he's going to have all these stuns and stuff, the stuff that wasn't included in the information that I was talking about, if he's going to have stuns, knockbacks, all that, then it sounds like he could be a close second to Ruby. I still wouldn't pick him over Ruby, but he sounds like he could be in the meta as a close second to fill that spot, to fill that void. But let me know what you all think in the comment section down below, man. Do you think that how do you decide what heroes are good in Mobile Legends or what heroes are bad? And yeah, what's your process on coming up with yeah, basically how good a hero is in the current meta and how good a hero is going to perform? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Drop that thumbs up if you're new, subscribe to the channel, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, fam. Peace out, yo.
Then I hate her.